You're lying in bed, finally drifting off after a long day, when suddenly, your leg locks up. A sharp, searing pain shoots through your calf, and you jolt awake, clutching your leg in agony. You try to move, but the cramp tightens like a vice, refusing to let go. If you've ever experienced this, you know the helpless feeling. It's as if your own body has turned against you in the dead of night. For many seniors, night leg cramps are more than just an occasional annoyance. They're a regular painful intrusion on sleep. And when sleep suffers, everything else suffers. You wake up exhausted, your legs sore, your energy drained before the day even begins. Over time, it can start to feel like an inevitable part of aging. But let me tell you something. Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to accept these painful episodes as your new normal. There are simple, effective ways to stop leg cramps in their tracks, often within just 2 minutes, and I'm going to share them with you. But before we get into the solutions, we need to understand the problem. You see, cramps don't just appear out of nowhere. Your body is always speaking to you. It's just a matter of whether or not you're listening. A cramp is like a warning light on the dashboard of your car. It's telling you something is off balance. Maybe your muscles are overworked. Maybe they're undernourished. Maybe your circulation isn't what it used to be. Whatever the cause, the key to stopping night cramps fast and keeping them from coming back lies in understanding what your body is trying to tell you. So let's take a step back and ask, why do leg cramps happen in the first place? Most people assume that cramps are just random muscle spasms. They're not. They happen for a reason, and that reason almost always comes down to one of 4 things: dehydration, mineral imbalance, poor circulation, or muscle fatigue. The trick is knowing which of these is affecting you the most, because once you do, you can fix it. And once you fix it, those painful nights become a thing of the past. Let's start with dehydration. Now, I know what you're thinking. I drink water all day. How could I be dehydrated? But here's the thing. As we age, our bodies lose their ability to retain water efficiently. That means even if you're drinking what seems like enough, your muscles might still not be getting the hydration they need. And when muscles aren't properly hydrated, they tighten up and cramp. It's like a dried up rubber band. It won't stretch the way it's supposed to. But here's the real kicker. It's not just about water, it's about electrolytes, the minerals that help your body absorb and use that water properly. Sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, these minerals are what keep your muscles relaxed and functioning smoothly. And if even one of them is off balance, cramps can strike out of nowhere. Now here's the first tip I want you to try: the warm water and salt trick. Next time a cramp hits, instead of panicking, head to the kitchen and drink a glass of warm water with a pinch of salt. It sounds simple, but it works like magic. The warm water helps improve circulation, and the salt provides the sodium your muscles need to relax. Most people don't realize this, but a lot of seniors are actually low on sodium because they've been told to cut back on salt for their blood pressure. But here's the reality. Too little salt is just as dangerous as too much. If you're sweating a lot on diuretics or just not getting enough salt in your diet, your muscles will rebel in the form of cramps. Now let's talk about circulation, because this is a big one. As we age, circulation naturally slows down. And when blood flow to the legs isn't as strong as it should be, the muscles don't get the oxygen and nutrients they need to function properly. The result? Tightness, cramping, and pain. If your legs tend to cramp at night, that's a telltale sign that circulation is playing a role. Why? Because when we sleep, our heart rate slows down and blood flow to the extremities decreases. If your circulation is already poor to begin with, it only gets worse when you're lying still. That's why so many people wake up in the middle of the night with cramps. It's a direct result of reduced blood flow. So what can you do? Here's another tip: the toe wiggle test. Before you fall asleep, try wiggling your toes for 2 minutes while lying in bed. This simple movement helps get the blood flowing to your feet and calves, warming up the muscles and reducing the chance of cramping. It may sound too easy to be effective, but trust me, it works. A lot of people don't realize how stagnant their blood flow becomes when they're inactive, even for a short time. Little movements like toe wiggling can make all the difference. And that leads me to muscle fatigue. As we age, our muscles naturally lose strength and elasticity. If you're not stretching or using your muscles regularly, they become stiff and prone to cramping. A lot of people assume that because they're active during the day, they don't need to stretch. But let me ask you this. When's the last time you really stretched your legs? Not just a quick bend, but a deep, intentional stretch? If it's been a while, your muscles are probably tighter than you think. One of the easiest ways to prevent night cramps is to stretch before bed. Even just a minute or two of calf and hamstring stretches can work wonders. If you want a quick trick, here's what you do. Stand up, place your hands against a wall, and step 1 foot back, pressing your heel into the floor. Hold for 30 seconds, then switch legs. This helps lengthen the calf muscles and reduces cramping overnight. Now we've covered 3 of the biggest causes of night leg cramps: dehydration, circulation, and muscle fatigue. But there's one more factor that plays a huge role, and most people don't even think about it. Now, as I was saying, there's one more factor behind night leg cramps that often gets overlooked. And let me tell you, it's a big one. Stress. Yes, stress. You might be thinking, what does stress have to do with my legs cramping in the middle of the night? But the truth is, your mind and body are far more connected than most people realize. When you're under stress, whether it's worry about your health, finances, family, or just the weight of everyday life, your body responds physically. Muscles tense up, breathing becomes shallow, and your body starts running on edge, even if you don't feel it directly. Over time, this constant state of tension builds up in your muscles, especially in your legs, and often comes out when you're finally still and resting at night. Think about it. How often do you go to bed with your mind still racing? Even if you're tired, your thoughts might be swirling, and while you're lying there, your muscles are holding on to that tension. It's like pulling back the string of a bow and holding it there for hours. Eventually, something has to give, and that's when the cramp strikes. So how do you fix it? It's not as complicated as you might think. Here's another tip: the deep breath release. Before bed, sit quietly for just 2 minutes. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in through your nose. Count to 4 as you inhale. Hold that breath for 4 seconds, then slowly exhale through your mouth for another 4 seconds. Repeat this a few times. What this does is calm your nervous system, release muscle tension, and improve oxygen flow through your body. Most people underestimate the power of breathing, but trust me, your muscles will thank you. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Breathing isn't going to fix my leg cramps. But remember, your body needs oxygen to function, and your muscles need it to relax. When you're tense, you breathe shallowly, and that means your muscles aren't getting enough oxygen. And guess what happens to muscles that don't get enough oxygen? They cramp. It's that simple. But let's talk about something even more practical. Sometimes, even with good hydration, proper circulation, and stress management, cramps can still sneak up on you. And when they do, you need something that works immediately. That's where muscle compression comes in. If you feel a cramp coming on, or even after one has started, gently massage the area with firm, consistent pressure. Use your thumbs to press into the muscle, moving in small circles. This helps increase blood flow, reduce muscle tension, and often stops the cramp in under 2 minutes. A lot of people ignore the power of a good massage, thinking it's just for relaxation. But it's actually one of the most effective ways to release muscle knots and cramps. If you want to take it a step further, try using a warm cloth or heating pad on the area while you massage. The warmth helps relax the muscle even faster. It's like telling your muscle, it's okay, you can let go now. And more often than not, it will. But here's something important I need to say. Prevention is always better than cure. Yes, I'm giving you tips to stop cramps once they've started, but wouldn't it be better to avoid them altogether? That's why it's crucial to take a close look at your daily habits. Are you drinking enough water? Eating foods rich in magnesium and potassium like bananas, spinach, and sweet potatoes? Are you stretching regularly and keeping your muscles active? Because here's the hard truth. If you don't take care of your body, it's going to let you know. And cramps are one of the ways it does that. One more thing that often surprises people is the role of sleep position in night leg cramps. The way you sleep can actually contribute to cramping. If you tend to sleep with your toes pointed down, like a ballerina, your calf muscles stay in a shortened position all night. And what happens when a muscle stays tight for too long? It cramps. A simple fix is to sleep with your feet slightly elevated or flexed. Try placing a pillow under your feet or using a blanket to keep your toes from pointing downward. It's a small change, but it can make a big difference. And that's the beauty of these tips. They're simple, practical, and most importantly, they work. You don't need fancy equipment or expensive treatments. Sometimes the best solutions are the simplest ones. But you have to be consistent. One night of stretching or one glass of water isn't going to solve the problem overnight. It's about creating habits that support your body every day. Now, as promised, let's talk about something that plays a huge role in muscle cramps, but often gets overlooked: nutrition. What you put into your body every day has a direct impact on how your muscles function, especially as you get older. You see, muscles aren't just made of tissue. They're powered by the nutrients you give them. And when they don't get what they need, they rebel, often in the form of painful cramps. Let's start with magnesium. If there's one mineral that's essential for muscle relaxation, it's magnesium. Think of magnesium like the brake pedal for your muscles. Without enough of it, your muscles stay tense, and that tension often leads to cramping. The problem is, as we age, our bodies don't absorb magnesium as efficiently as they used to. And to make matters worse, many of the processed foods we eat are stripped of magnesium. So, where can you get it? Bananas are a good start, but they're not the only option. Dark leafy greens like spinach and kale, nuts like almonds and cashews, and even dark chocolate are rich in magnesium. Yes, you heard that right. Dark chocolate. Now, I'm not saying you should eat a whole bar every night, but a small piece can actually help relax your muscles before bed. Another key nutrient is potassium. Potassium helps regulate the balance of fluids in your body and supports proper muscle contractions. Ever wonder why athletes are always eating bananas? It's not just for the flavor, it's for the potassium. But bananas aren't your only source. Sweet potatoes, avocados, and even coconut water are packed with potassium and can help keep those nighttime cramps at bay. Now let me share a quick, easy remedy that many seniors swear by. It's called the pickle juice trick. Yes, pickle juice. It might sound strange, but drinking a small shot of pickle juice when you feel a cramp coming on can stop it almost instantly. Why? Because pickle juice contains vinegar and salt, which help replenish electrolytes and send signals to your nervous system to relax the muscle. It's not the most glamorous solution, but it works, and when you're in the middle of a painful cramp, that's all that matters. But let's not forget about calcium. Most people think of calcium as being important for bones, and that's true, but it's also crucial for muscle function. Calcium helps muscles contract properly, and without enough of it, you're more likely to experience cramps. Dairy products, like milk, yogurt, and cheese, are great sources of calcium. But if you're lactose intolerant or not a fan of dairy, there are plenty of other options. Sardines, tofu, and even fortified orange juice can give you the calcium your muscles need. Now, while eating the right foods is important, there's another aspect of nutrition that often gets ignored: staying hydrated the right way. And no, it's not just about drinking 8 glasses of water a day. The key is to drink water consistently throughout the day, not just when you feel thirsty. Thirst is actually a sign that your body is already dehydrated. And remember, it's not just water, electrolytes are just as important. A simple trick is to add a pinch of salt and a squeeze of lemon to your water. This homemade electrolyte drink helps your body absorb and retain water better, keeping your muscles hydrated and cramp-free. But even with the best nutrition, sometimes cramps still happen. And when they do, you need a solution that works fast. Here's another tip that might surprise you: soap under the sheets. Yes, soap. Placing a bar of soap under your fitted sheet near your legs has been a long-time remedy for night cramps. While there's no scientific explanation for why it works, many people swear by it. The theory is that the soap releases certain compounds that help relax muscles. It might sound odd, but if you've been struggling with cramps for years, it's worth a try. Now, I want you to think about this. When was the last time you really paid attention to how your body feels during the day? Sometimes, the things we ignore during the day come back to haunt us at night. Maybe you've been sitting for too long without stretching. Maybe you've been walking more than usual and your muscles are overworked. The point is, cramps don't just happen at night. They build up throughout the day, and your nighttime routine is your chance to reset your muscles. 1. Thing I always recommend is to take a few minutes before bed to do a simple leg massage. Even if you don't feel any tension, gently rubbing your calves, thighs, and feet can help relax your muscles and improve circulation. Use your hands, or even a small massage roller. Trust me, your legs will feel the difference. Another often overlooked factor is medications. Many seniors are on medications that can actually cause muscle cramps as a side effect. Diuretics, which are often prescribed for high blood pressure, flush out fluids and essential minerals from your body, leading to dehydration and cramps. Statins, used to lower cholesterol, can also cause muscle pain and cramping. If you've noticed more frequent cramps after starting a new medication, it's worth talking to your doctor. Sometimes, adjusting the dosage or switching to a different medication can make all the difference. But here's something even more important: listening to your body. Your body is always sending you signals, and cramps are one of them. They're telling you that something is off balance. The good news is, once you start paying attention and making small changes, you'll notice a big difference. So, we've talked about the causes of night leg cramps, the role of hydration and nutrition, and a few quick remedies that work almost instantly. But if you really want to keep those painful cramps away for good, it's all about creating a simple daily routine. And no, I'm not talking about spending hours every day doing complicated exercises or following a strict diet. It's about making small, consistent changes that fit into your everyday life. Let's start with something simple: morning stretches. Now, I know mornings can be rough, especially if you didn't sleep well the night before. But taking just 5 minutes each morning to stretch your legs can set the tone for the whole day. Here's an easy stretch to try. While sitting on the edge of your bed, extend one leg straight out and reach for your toes. Hold for 20-30 seconds and switch legs. This stretch targets your hamstrings and calves, the muscles most prone to cramping. It's gentle, easy to do, and wakes up your muscles after a night of being still. Now, here's a stretch that works wonders right before bed. Stand about 2 feet from a wall, place your hands against it, and step 1 foot back, pressing your heel into the floor. Hold for 30 seconds, then switch legs. This calf stretch is simple, but it keeps your muscles relaxed and less prone to cramping while you sleep. One thing many people overlook is their sleep position. If you often find yourself sleeping with your toes pointed down, that's a recipe for calf cramps. Try sleeping on your back with a pillow under your knees or on your side with a pillow between your legs. And if you're someone who tosses and turns, a body pillow can help keep you in a comfortable position throughout the night. Now, let's not forget the importance of what you wear to bed. Tight socks or restrictive pajamas can cut off circulation to your legs, increasing the chance of cramping. Opt for loose, comfortable clothing that allows your blood to flow freely. And if you often wake up with cold feet, try wearing a pair of loose, warm socks. Cold muscles are more likely to cramp, so keeping them warm can make a big difference. Now, I know that making all these changes at once can feel overwhelming, but here's the beauty of it. You don't have to do everything all at once. Start with 1 or 2 changes and build from there. Maybe begin by adding a morning stretch and staying hydrated throughout the day. Once that becomes a habit, add in an evening foot soak or a bedtime stretch. The key is consistency. Even small changes done regularly can have a big impact over time. But remember this, listen to your body. If you start to feel tension in your legs during the day, take a moment to stretch or hydrate. Don't wait for the cramp to hit in the middle of the night. Your body is always giving you clues, and the more you pay attention, the easier it becomes to prevent cramps before they even start. And don't forget to check in with your doctor if cramps become a frequent problem. Sometimes, underlying conditions like nerve damage, circulation issues, or medication side effects can contribute to muscle cramps. It's always a good idea to make sure there's no bigger issue at play. At the end of the day, night leg cramps don't have to be a part of your nightly routine. With a little care, attention, and a few simple tricks, you can keep those painful episodes at bay. And trust me, nothing feels better than a peaceful night's sleep without the fear of waking up in pain. So give these tips a try, be patient with yourself, and remember, you deserve restful, cramp-free nights.